Hey, Phil from Got Memories here. Okay, so today got a little project here that is very, very typical. A bunch of mini DVD camcorder discs. They have content on them. They're in okay shape. They're not scratched to high heaven, but they see that dark purple in the middle, and then the shaded purple on the, outside. Middle outside going on. Can't even get the words out, my god. Okay, so there we go. You can see the different shades of purple. It has information on it, so I'm going to put it in here and shut the door. And this is the way that you tell if these discs are finalized, is you put them in a player and it'll make all this noise, and it just goes on, and then it says unsupportable. Disk is incompatible. So, welcome to the joys of mini DVDs. Now, if you had these discs from early 2000s, and they came in all these different Sony, Canon, Panasonic, Hitachi, all these different makes and models. You need to finalize these in the original camcorder you had, or else, and I got even more here, you've got to know, hopefully you have that camera. If you do not have that camera, then it does pose a problem, because you've got to remember, or if you don't know, or if it's not even your stuff, you've got to figure out what of the 10, 12, 15 different makes, models, I mean, there's even more than that, to figure out what in the world, because it has to be finalized on the original camera, or the brand. Now, even the same brand might not finalize it. If you're like, I'm sure I had a Panasonic, I've got the box here, and it's a Panasonic, and I've just bought a Panasonic camera, and it won't work, won't read it, won't finalize it, comes up with errors. Yeah, look at this. Windows can't read this disc. So I'm all Mac here because Macs just work. PCs, this is the only PC out of 50 computers I've got, because this one program here, CD Roller, actually can attempt to recover the data off of these discs. Now, I want to just find out what brand it is, and usually it will tell me what it is when it scans it. It's showing a disc here. This is a paid piece of software. Any recorder. See, it's not even giving me some in here. The drop down menu will pop up. See, it's showing all these different tracks here in sectors. Let's just select all of them. But usually it gives me a drop down menu, and it'll kind of tell me what it is. Matsushita. If you see Matsushita, that's Panasonic or Toshiba. And I could go through all of these discs and put them in every single, one of 20 options. This isn't what I wanted to do, because this takes forever. I just want the drop-down menu where it says Sony or Matsushita, Canon, what have you, and it's doing the Windows spin here. Let's cancel it, because this way of going around it is very lengthy. First of all, it has to scan it, then it gives me what, the verbiage of it to go ahead and carry on. Then all these things come again like an hour later, and then it gives you a VOB file, which is a video object file, and that is still useless, because then I'm going to take that VOB file and then rip it to MPEG-4, and I use a program called ISkysoft, which, you've got to know how to use. It is another paid program, not always 100% successful. Let's just take this out now. Come on, give me the disc back. So if you have these DVDs, I'm going to try another one here. Patrick 10 age 10, Bill 5. Let's take a look. And I'll tell you what, if you didn't have them in the cases, see, look, this one here, smudges, but it's also got, look at the top there, and it's got all the kind of, looks like smudges, but that's actually where the data's been erased. It's just corrupted. This hasn't been well cared for. It's scratched. If you've got all these scratches, this is why this format sucks. sucks, because you know people didn't care for their stuff anyway. So that's why all of these companies out there suck, because people didn't take care of their stuff and didn't finalize the stuff, and here we are decades later. Let's try this one, trying to recover all of these discs and all the videotapes and all the other stuff. Here where that's loading, look at this. This is all tapes from Puerto Rico. They had mold all over them, sticky tape syndrome. They've all shredded. I've had to bake them, and then I'm fixing them and I'm cleaning them and I'm doing all this stuff which no company does. Look, disc incompatible. See, look, if I hit the play button, you get that on it. So none of these are finalized. Let's pop this one in and see if it gives me see right there, that these discs, if you had them information side and you were like, oh yeah, right across, or the kids got hold of them, it's done. I mean, it's literally all the information is exposed on it, and that's why there's so many problems with this format. And for me to try and recover all of this stuff is a very time-consuming process, especially if you didn't finalize them. If you finalize them and they play and you've kept them in the cases and they're all hunky-dory, I can work with it. But this here is not giving me any indications. So I'm going to try this now in the most popular camera format. Well, it's not format, but brand. Let's have a look here. Where are we? Sony. Here we go. There's my Sonys. Okay, so Sony. Green sticker means it works, because all of this stuff is really old and fiddly. And let's put it in. So now I have to put it in here and see if it reads it. Let's see this here. Check that. So while that's loading, I'm doing this one-handed. Let's go. Disk access. There you go. Look at these tapes right here. This is Betacam SP. U-matic players, Betacams. They are rare, and I do them. See, look at this right here. Eject. Nope. So it's not Sony. Let's take it out. Let's have a look. And you know, sometimes I can tell by the menu, or just that's that. I mean, it is the other popular ones. You just take a guess. Canon. If this one works. Anyway. Doing this all one-handed right now. Let's see. Let's get the cable here. Hopefully this reaches. Oh, come on. It's in the front. So yeah, if you don't have the cables, the power cables, all of this stuff, it is a pain in the backside. It really is. All of it. And when people go, wait a minute, what do you do? What do you charge? What? You know why? Because you're watching it live right here, right now. The eject button on these damn things. Here we go. And they've all got their own little quirky... you know, they placed all the power buttons everywhere and the eject buttons everywhere, and the menus are all different. So you've got to run them down the gamut. So if you have them like this, I do charge a setup fee. What do I call it? Oh my god, just the pain in the ass factor. Disk access failure, check the disk. So that's not that. So you've got an idea of what is required if you have these discs and you have not finalized them. I'm going to cut the video here because this is going to take me forever to figure out what's going on, especially because this program here is not giving me any indication as to what is going on, and any indication as to what format. This is always my like little shortcut to figuring stuff out. And now I've got to go through the long way around. on this to figure out what in the world is going on. Yes, he's not even giving me any information. Recover found files, nothing. So this is why nobody touches this format, especially all of these box companies right here. Especially, God, don't send them anything ever, or them, or really any of these companies. You want corporate, like, just transfer sweatshop stuff that you get crappy looking files from, and they were on Facebook ads on Google search and their website's really pretty, and they email me 1 billion times a day with a 60% off sale that's ending tonight. Yeah, no, that sale's been going since day one. Yeah, no, that's a no-go. Yeah, so if you do have this stuff, all the best to you. If you would like me to attempt to do this for you, then you can go to gotmemories.com, fill out the quote form. I will get some information from you. See, look, these are all kind of scratched. Yeah, but just to let you know, do not fill out that quote form if you're looking for, like, you go, I'm willing to pay $50 for this. This is recovery. This is data recovery, which is very expensive. If you take, say, a hard drive that's failed on your computer to data doctors, data recovery centers, charge a fortune. They're using hard drives. They're plugging up hard drives. This is even harder because I'm dealing with all this fickle media, individual, aging formats, players, everything is just a nightmare. And that's why all these companies suck, because they just don't have the staff, the reliability, the training. Even the owners or the managers don't even know what they're doing. And a lot of them are tuning into my YouTube channel to try and figure out what the hell's going on and why all of the tapes that they keep getting in are looking like crap. First of all, they're not cleaning their players. They're not replacing. They're not understanding the science behind all of this stuff. So that's why this industry is just an abomination, unfortunately, of just hacking away, because this stuff was never, ever made for longevity. It was mass marketed, cameras, updating different formats, sell. And the shelf life of tapes, 5 years before things start to go downhill. People have left their stuff in the most atrocious of conditions, usually storage units, garages, attics. And as the years have rolled on, 2023 right now when I'm making this, if you have a tape from 1993, it is 30 years old with a shelf life of 5 before it goes downhill. And then I'm having to pick up the pieces and do all of this stuff. In my YouTube videos, yes, I cover a lot of problem video stuff, and I'm getting bombarded now with all of this problem media, which I think, oh my God, what have I done? Because it is just turning my hair more gray than what it is. And it's not enjoyable work because it's so frustrating. So if you do want me to recover what you have, please know that this is not cheap. Sometimes tapes, I'm charging hundreds of dollars to recover content off of them, because I've got to, open these up. I open them and I clean them and I put them back together and they shed again. Then I got to bake it in here for like 8 hours or 24 hours, whatever the number is, to get them to play nice and clean, which this particular job was a nightmare. And I've managed to fix all of the problems, and they're coming through clean. So, it just, I know it might look like a jumble in your garage and you're like, I don't want to pay anything for it. If it doesn't mean anything to you, then don't. Throw it away or take it to some of these cheap companies here. No harm, no foul if they screw it up and give you crap back. You didn't really care about it in the first place. But if you've got one copy and you really, really care about it, or one copy, all this stuff, and you really, really care about it, then yes, either myself or a really high-end girl that has a business and they're doing amazing work, you pay them, because this is a skill, and it is mind-numbing sometimes. So anyway, all the best to you out there. Cheers.